Hello, everybody. Welcome to Reality Redemption.
Yo!
MJ!
Snow, how you doing?
Good.
We're trying something a little different this time. We're barbecuing while we're doing this.
Woo! And we have friends here today,
Yeah.
too. We have Stephanie and Aaron.
Yay!
Hey, how you
Hi!
guys
Yay!
Doing okay.
Happy Memorial Day, guys.
Yeah, there's nothing happy about it.
Okay.
That is true.
Yeah.
And that's the segue. That's what we're going right into.
Yeah. To start on that, it is Memorial Day, so yeah, we do barbecue and stuff like that. We got the Bootsy's sDeltaFunk, High's Funk ribs cooking as we speak. And I don't know how we're going to manage just trying to cook these things while we're doing the podcast, but we'll figure it out.
We got ribs, we got hot dogs.
We'll send Aaron out there. Out there.
But also, it's Memorial Day. It's May 31st. It's also last day of
May.
Mental Health Awareness Month.
Yes, and that, too.
Yeah. And the one thing that goes, that we don't really talk about with Memorial Day is there's about 22 veterans who die by suicide every day still in this country.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that that's a problem that we should address and we should look at, especially on Memorial Day, because these people are veterans. And just because you come home, it doesn't mean the war is over.
No, and mostly what they do is pump them full of drugs. They're like, okay, here's your pills, go away.
Right.
Yeah.
They're left to their own devices.
They don't really care for them.
Yeah. So maybe more funding for the VA and taking care of these issues when it gets back, to the States.
The VA, depending on what part of the country they're in, is actually pretty good, but some parts, I do meetings at least 3 times a week talking to my fellow veterans. We're all ex-alcoholics, we're all ex-addicts, we've all had shit to go deal with. When I went to that memorial
Today?
It
Okay.
This morning.
Yeah, Locomotive Park.
Okay.
we had one of the younger veterans it's usually Vietnam veterans, Korean War veterans. They want to build a monument. It's not just about a monument. It's about just what you were saying. 22 people kill themselves a day. 22 veterans. 22. It's not just. I've had to talk people out of suicide. And it's never fun. It's absolutely terrifying when somebody calls you in the middle of the night at 3 a.m. going, "Hey man, I fucking had it. I can't deal with this shit. I'm getting ready to go walk out in front of the train tracks or stick a shotgun in my mouth." And it's like, listen man, I can talk to you.
And is it from the PTSD?
There's a lot of it. I mean, there's so many. It's not just PTSD. It's a huge, complicated, like the VA doesn't help them, which they do in some parts, but they don't in other. It's substance abuse. It's
since you've been in the military, and I always think that obviously, I mean, I understand people having like suicide thoughts and everything, but I think that when you're in the military, it might be a little bit different. Like, walk us through, like, when you sign up, when you're like a young teenage, fresh out of high school, signing up for the military, you have like one view of how things are going to go, and then is that part of the problem too? Like it's kind of like you are given this completely different wake up call about how everything goes, and it's like this was not what I thought I was signing up for. Is it that?
No, it's not. Like, when I joined the Navy in 1994, I'm like, I gotta get the fuck out of Kingman, man. Like, this place is...
Yeah, I totally can understand that.
Like, get me the fuck out of here. Shit, I'm about ready to pack all my shit and hitchhike out of here. But I joined the Navy, I had a good time, got out, went to school, partied, dropped out of college, went back into the military, and then... when I went back into the Army, I was like, I deployed, and I deployed a few times, and I'm like, it wasn't so much what I went through, but it was so much what other people were going through and having to struggle with it.
So what is it that they're going, like, I'm really trying to understand, like, why do so many veterans, like, have so many issues with the PTSD? Like, what is it that, is it trying to go back to civilian life after you've seen, like, such the horrific stuff? Like, is it trying to adjust
There's a
back?
lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff, and I don't think it's something we can cover in one podcast, but I mean, from my own experiences,
Yeah.
I didn't see the crazy bullshit that some people did, but I wrote their stories and I talked about them, and I'm like, they come back, they have to think about some of the horrible things they've seen.
And maybe done. Like, but they were ordered to do. Like, and they
And
have
not
a hard
even
time.
that, just they come back and there's this weird, well, thank you for your service.
Is it, so it's kind of a lot to, like, like, Bruce Springsteen's song that most people don't know, like, the true meaning of. I'm talking about Born in the USA.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a sad fucking song. And it's like the way that the veteran man got treated when he came back. And most people don't
In
realize.
that era, it definitely...
And the Reagan administration tried to use it as a campaign ad, like as an anthem, like "Born in the USA." But
so
that's
many
not-
Romney
do it.
tried to
They
do it
still
too
do.
against
Trump fucking
Obama.
did it.
Obama.
A lot of
Remember
people do
when they
it.
were
Like,
trying to say that Obama wasn't American, like, and Romney tried to use "Born in the USA" when he ran against Obama, and Bruce Springsteen's like, absolutely not.
Do none of you people know
Absolutely
what
not.
fucking musicians do
Right.
and how they write?
Right. I mean, and I've seen Springsteen like 20 something times. So you know, and when he plays that, there is that fist in there. Boom, but you don't listen to the song
Because they're only listening to the chorus.
If you hear him do it,
they're not listening to the verses.
If you hear it do them acoustically, the song means totally different.
Yeah.
Or you know what you do, folks? You go to your most patriotic flag humping friends and tell them to sing "Born in the USA" at karaoke. Because then they will actually, if they have to say the word, they'll be like, oh, wait a second. This is what the song says? Tell them to do that. I did that to someone.
Wait, one thing I wanted to touch on that Aaron said, thank you for for your service. Do you have a problem with that? If somebody says that to you?
MJ's like, I gotta start doing
service.
that.
I don't want to speak
almost said
on
it.
behalf of every veteran, but at the same time, I've always felt that when somebody says that, unless they're another veteran, I get this sense of better you than me.
Or I was thinking maybe y'all would think like, you don't, same thing, like with the song Born in the USA, you don't really know what it is that you're actually saying to me. Like you don't like, I don't really feel the sincerity sometimes, but maybe it's like people are being sincere, but you're kind of like, yeah, but when you just sit there and say thank you for your service, does that kind of just like get me out of your face and be like, like I don't want to I don't want to deal with it or deal with.
I was talking to there were a lot of veterans down there today. We could tell each other's expressions. There were people, like I'm wearing this hat right now. There are people wearing
Flags.
the ball caps, wearing the flags, wearing
The ball cap with their
pins.
unit on it or whatever.
Right.
And the eagle.
And it's,
all the symbols of America.
and I could talk to them. I could, hey, where were you?
Yeah.
Where were you? Where were you? And they would talk to me. And we just had a good conversation and had a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was going to say thank you for your service, but now I feel like be disingenuous.
You shouldn't say
Yeah,
it.
I feel like I shouldn't say
Like-
that.
No.
No,
What
and
would you think be for
and,
my
and,
service?
and this is the point of this podcast is we want to this particular episode we want to honor those lives lost on Memorial Day. We want to bring awareness to the 22 veterans who commit suicide every day. But there's a lot of shit going on in the United States right now that the people that are the biggest flag wavers are the most guilty of. And we'll get into that in just a little bit. I guess we'll start off with the Senate decided to vote not to investigate the January 6th insurrection.
Big surprise.
Now, we had, 22 investigations on Hillary Clinton in Benghazi, something like that. Something
Didn't we
ridiculous.
have a 9/11 investigation too? We had an investigation into that.
Right.
Why are we not having
Right.
an investigation?
So why are the people who represent the party, and I'm talking about the people that represent the party, not the average Republican
do you want to
voter.
know why we're not having an investigation? Because some of those motherfuckers are in on the insurrection. They were helping plan it. That's why. I'm
Right.
talking like your ghost stars. I'm not talking I'm not throwing the whole Republican Party under the bus. But there were some that were in on it. Like Clarence Thomas's wife. She had buses going there for the people. Jenny Thomas.
Right.
Like,
And there was one congressperson that was instructed by the White House to provide tours to some of the people that took part in the insurrection the day before.
yeah, they
And
knew what was going on.
And allegedly, there was a congresswoman that was directing them to where Nancy Pelosi was located during the insurrection.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
They made like a makeshift guillotine too. Like they were taking cue from France
So
about like getting rid of Pence and Pelosi.
So this isn't for the average Republican voter. Can't stress that enough. But this is for the elected officials who are trying to just cover it up. And it was Antifa that was doing it.
Oh,
right?
and
'Cause
also
Why wouldn't you want to investigate that?
Also, I would like to also say, I'd also like to make a point right now. Like I recently was talked about, someone was talking about if you go on this website called Right Wing Watch and you look at some of the videos, they are still wanting to know who some of these people are who were involved with the insurrection. So they have said, try going on there, look at the videos, and notify the FBI if you know these people. It's still like they're still trying to find out who some of the people who broke into the Capitol that day are.
There's so many
just,
of them.
Right.
Just to let you know, folks, again, it's called Right Wing Watch.
So the Republican Party, or the people that vote for the Republican Party, I'm not bashing on anybody that votes Republican, but what I'm saying is you are the people that's saying that you're more patriotic than Democrats. Okay? Why wouldn't you want an investigation? Well, why wouldn't you hold your elected officials?
MJ,
Okay?
they're more patriotic because they wear flag shirts everywhere, okay? That is what makes them
And
more patriotic.
I find that the people who wear the American flag shorts is really disrespectful because that's putting the American flag on your ass.
and your
sitting on it.
crotch. You're not supposed to wear the flag at all.
Right.
Anyways, technically.
Aaron?
I don't want to call out any Golden Valley businesses, but I'd really be interested to
Go
see
ahead.
how they support
We're looking at you.
an
American
investigation
MAGA pizza.
MAGA pizza.
of an insurrection on top of the at least 2 rallies I've seen in the last year.
Well, we should
At your establishment.
We should ask him because he was there, but he didn't partake.
He tries
in the
to say that it was
insurrection.
Antifa that stormed in the Capitol.
All right, so-
Like it was all
so-
them were being
so
peaceful,
then-
and he
so
didn't break
then-
in. But
Wait. Let me get this out. He's a true patriot, so he should be demanding Paul Gosar investigate these people.
like I did, I called Paul Gosar's office and I demanded that. I'm like, sir, if you want to get rid of Antifa once and for all, why aren't you having an investigation to get rid of them? Another thing too, real quick, a point. Hasn't Paul Gosar been to his pizza establishment to give speeches?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
See?
Aaron was there.
Y'all
Yes.
were
He wasn't there when I was there.
motherfucking
It was
FBI,
Joe
if
Arpaio.
you're listening.
Oh, Joe Arpaio. Well, he's another.
I think
Oh.
Gosar went to it too. I think Gosar
I
went
didn't
to
see
the.
him.
I could have sworn that he did
He was
something
supposed
there.
to.
No,
I think, or-
he was at another one because they had one and
He was
showed
at a
up.
white nationalist rally. Also, he
No-
did go to that.
Yeah, no surprise.
Gosar was at the one
Right.
that they said was so heavily attended, but if you watch the videos online, there's like 12 people in the parking lot.
That's what I'm saying, though. But he did go there. He knows this guy.
Well, no, Gosar did go there.
Yeah. So dude, birds of a feather flock
And-
together, dude.
Oh.
And if it was listened to that, knows Paul Gosar, you have an open invite to Context Reality Redemption on Instagram, and we will have you on.
We'd be
to debate
more
this.
than happy to
We
interview
will be
you,
honored
sir.
to have you on. Representative,
Totally
our
down.
representative Gosar.
Hey, give the man a break. He's too busy counting ballots right now.
We are your constituents, motherfucker.
You know,
Along with the ninjas.
I just want
Cyber ninjas.
Cyber ninjas.
I just want to say one point to that.
From Florida. Not even from
Aren't
Arizona.
conservatives supposed to be fiscally conservative? And we're wasting so much money.
It sure
counting
should haven't been the
and
last 4
recounting.
years.
But this is money well spent.
No. Okay.
Bob.
Well, okay. We're going to do things a little bit different on this episode.
Is this the intermission?
We're going to take a break.
I gotta go.
And
Podcast
will-
listeners,
we will be
please
right,
stand
we will be
by.
right back. And this break is brought to you by Bootsy's Delta-Funk Barbecue. Hot as funk sauce, which is cooking, and we need to go check
The
on
best
those ribs.
barbecue sauce you can find.
All right.
Let's all
So,
go to the lobby.
And I mix it with some vegetables too. And it works pretty fucking good.
Yum.
hey, Bootsy's Delta-Funk. We shall be right back.
Get
after
your
the
funk
break.
on.
Yeah. All right, we're back from break.
Hot dog intermission. It was delicious.
Yay.
Yeah, we're still waiting for the Bootsy's Delta-Funk High's Funk ribs to cook.
They're
Take
still
a
out
while.
there. They're going to be so delicious. So I have a question. What does everybody put on their hot dogs?
Yellow mustard.
Just yellow mustard and that's it.
That's
Nothing.
it for me.
Absolutely nothing.
Steph's a nothing. She eats her wieners plain.
I'm
Just
a-
shoves them in her throat.
I'm a purist.
Gluten-free hot dogs.
So I had some of the horseradish sauce. I think everyone saw my face. Like I got the nasal, I now have clear sinuses. I had that and some of the spicy mustard, and it was delicious.
Can we-
Aaron, what do you have on your dog?
I have
Aaron's still going to town on his dogs.
2 different types of mustard and relish. And relish that I would...
You relish in your relish?
I can remake this.
Can we all agree you never put ketchup on hot dogs, though?
Oh my God,
Yeah,
I know.
Thank you.
I was going to tell somebody they had to leave if they even put that on their hot dog in my house.
My kid eats ketchup on his hot dogs, and I like literally gag when I have to, I'm making it. I'm just like,
He should be making it himself.
oh, that's true.
Like, if you want ketchup on your dog, I ain't putting it on there for you. You got to do it yourself.
Okay, so when you got something to say?
Like grilled hot dogs. I'm thinking grilled onions.
I would do grilled onions.
Maybe some
I know.
jalapenos.
I like grilled onions
I
on there.
love grilled onions.
And I know mayonnaise is always going to be one of those. Oh my God, we can't. No, you can't do mayonnaise. Actually, it works if you do it just right and you mix it with the right spices.
Yeah. Hey, I used that horseradish sauce, and that's kind of mayonnaise consistency, but it was so good.
We were talking about this when we were on break. I could use some Guy Fieri, Naked City Pizza's suicide fries with those.
Oh, I know.
Those are
I would have
so
shoved some in my hot dog. Like, I just, make a meal out of everything. I'm like, I could just, shove some French fries. Because I like to put French fries on the burger and then just...
No, you know what else is good?
And I'm a sandwich with potato chips on it kind of gal.
You know what else we didn't bring up too is I will eat chili and cheese on my hot dog. I will do a chili cheese dog.
Chili
There's nothing wrong
dogs.
with that.
Those are good too.
Yeah, with onions.
Speaking of chili, did you see Peta's post earlier about he
Next
was making
podcast.
chili?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes. Oh my
I
God.
want that recipe and I want it so
Yes.
fucking
Oh
good.
my God, that looks so good.
So Peter, when you're up here in a couple weeks,
Bring your chili.
bring the chili, okay?
How do we cook it? Where do we start? It's going to take... It's not just the recipe. It's going to be a day-long process.
And is it gluten free?
I
I
think
don't know about
chili
that,
is.
but-
Not always. Sometimes they put sometimes they'll put in a thickening agent like flour. So you have to be careful
Oh,
about
well, they can
Oh, yeah.
keep that out of it. I mean, you don't have to have that in there. Just...
that. Yeah. I
What if you-
just asking.
Ran
Yeah.
over a dog or a cat and you had to put it in there. Just
Honey.
kind of spice
Okay.
up the...
Stop.
Okay, so
Okay.
as
All
much as I would like to go on about food,
Yeah.
we have-
Which we probably should stick to food, but
I know because it
we're-
does get worse.
we're going to get back to
We're homeless.
the most patriotic people saying the most unpatriotic things this week. Okay, first let's start off with our favorite representative from Florida, Matt Gaetz.
Ooh.
Butthead.
Hey, something, something. Ooh, the last hard lemonade seltzer.
Okay, hold on.
I'm about to say something really stupid.
They think they can suppress
I'm
us,
filling in.
discourage us. Maybe if you're just a little less patriotic, maybe if you just conform to their way of thinking a little more, that you'll be allowed to participate in the digital world. Well, you know what? Silicon Valley can't cancel this movement, or this rally, or this congressman.
He hasn't got to the good part yet.
We have a Second Amendment in this country, and I think we have an obligation to use it.
Yeah.
Okay, so what he said there is because he believes private entities like Twitter and Facebook, these are private companies, they're allowed to control the content, right? Don't Republicans want less regulations? Well, no, they think that Facebook should be under freedom of speech, and what Matt Gaetz said is he should be able to use the Second Amendment to go shoot the representatives of Facebook and Twitter. Now, that's a pretty goddamn fucking un-American thing to fucking say, to take up arms against your fellow citizens.
Can I just interrupt? Matt Gaetz, you fuck teenagers. Can you just shut up about anything? Can you just shut the fuck up? You fuck little girls. I don't want to hear anything that comes out of your mouth. I don't want you to be in my Congress. I don't want to see your fucking ugly fucking upper lip fucking do a hickey thing up in the fucking whatever's going on in your face.
Butthead face.
I don't want to see you. I don't want to hear from you. You fuck little girls. Shut up.
We'll get to Aaron in just a second here. But on that point, though, isn't the Republican Party the ones that say, save our children? Let's fucking control the pedophiles.
Yeah, why haven't they strung him up by now?
Exactly.
Why haven't you guys burned him at the stake?
Fucking hypocrites.
He fucks little girls. He fucks teenage girls.
Okay, Aaron.
It's not so much. Oh, kind of. And it kind of goes back to Marjorie
Taylor Greene.
The people that vote for people like this are totally in support of it.
I saw what I saw.
Right.
And they don't understand
Keep talking.
how...
I'm wiping.
Right. God, Marjorie Taylor Greene. Oh, God.
We have Paul Gosar. How the fuck... Who the fuck is like... Who goes to the goddamn polls and goes, you know what? I totally agree with them.
I'm just moving it over here.
Okay.
You can still...
Don't mind us. We're just doing barbecue while we're doing the podcast.
We have some technical things happening. There's food and,
Okay, so you have a representative that's advocating shooting people at a business that they have the right to control the content on their platform. If you don't like that, then get off the platform. Form your own platform. Whatever. You just can't. And I'm not defending Mark Zuckerberg at all. Okay? I got a warning on Facebook last week for saying, what's your favorite concept album of all time? I listed American Idiot. Because I typed out American Idiot, I got a warning.
That's literally the fucking
That's
name
the
of the album.
Exactly.
It's an awesome album.
And
They
song.
should know.
What in the fuck is happening?
Right.
Well, I got in trouble on Facebook once for using the term white trash. You are not allowed to use that. So I haven't gone to use it again because I didn't have to call out white trash. But I was like, I wonder if I could get away with it if I put pale rubbish. Would it work?
You probably
Probably. You just got to use your grammar and vocabulary creatively.
And imagination.
So see, Republicans, cancel culture goes both ways.
Don't cancel my rights to say white trash. No, this one guy, so then I looked it up.
Yeah, but
wait, really quick. This is what I did afterwards. So I looked it up. I'm like, do people really get banned from saying white trash? How is white trash offensive? So I typed it into Google, why did I get in trouble on Facebook for using the term white trash? There's this whole forum that it brought up, and this one guy is going off. He goes, I consider myself a redneck, I always call myself white trash, it's my thing, blah, blah, blah. And he even has, a Confederate flag in his picture or whatever. And he's like, I got in trouble for calling myself white trash on there. And I'm like, that's so bizarre that I thought it was very strange.
It is, yeah.
There's a lot of people getting called out for doing dumb shit. And now they're owning it. But they blame everyone else for decades of being called out for doing their dumb shit. White trash, sure. It's here.
All right. So get back to Gates for a second. Hate to give him too much airtime. I already mentioned this sleazeball's name, but
I know. I'd like to cancel him from this podcast.
But he said,
Bitch, you
he
can't.
said that after there was 2 mass shootings this week. There was one in San Jose, which left 8 people dead plus the shooter. I never like to count the shooter in the death toll.
As the fatality,
Right. So I always believe to take that one out of it. In Miami, 2 people were killed and 20 others injured when there was some gang-related thing going on. But the Republicans want to go, well, we don't want anything to do with, taking away the Second Amendment. But you have a representative from Florida openly saying, well, hey, we don't agree with these people, so we should take up arms against them. Don't you think that maybe some of your constituents aren't smart enough to grasp the difference on that?
well, both of them, I think what you're saying is super important. Both of them have different wants out of it. So, after hearing about this mass shooting, I was like, I think I have gotten to the point, being an American, where I'm just like, I go, what do we even do anymore? I remember the most awful I ever felt was after the Sandy Hook kids. How many fucking shootings have we had since then? Since Sandy Hook? And it's just as true today as it was then. If they didn't give a fuck about 5 and 6-year-olds being shredded to pieces by bullets, they're not going to give a fuck about anyone. But I'm like, what do we even say anymore? I don't even know. I'm to the point where I don't even know what to say, what to think, what to do after any more of these. It's like we can never fucking combat this because people need to make money. The gun manufacturers need to make more and more money. And that's where it comes into what you were talking about. Like Matt Gaetz using this stupid fucking speech probably to throw us off from the fact that he fucks little girls. So he's got to go in there and be a fucking... Maybe he's trying to get a job as a fucking gun lobbyist because he knows his fucking representative days are numbered. Who the fuck knows? But it's like they want to sell guns. So then the idiots, their fucking constituents that follow them, those stupid fucks are so brainwashed that they just think, oh, if we do anything, though, they're going to take away... They're coming to my house tomorrow, knocking on my door and taking away my fucking gun seller. Fuck off. They both have different reasons for doing this, That's how I feel. That's how I feel nowadays. I feel like I want to fucking walk up to every one of them on the street and go, fuck you, you pussy. What are you so afraid of? Anytime I see one with a goddamn accessory on their goddamn fucking belt. What are you so afraid of?
Yes.
God.
Losing my rights.
How many people here brought a gun today?
A gun.
I don't know. Maybe we should have.
I'm going to take the 5th on that.
Okay, yeah, because there's so much danger at Snow's place.
I'm laying it down right now with a few rounds of ammo and stuff.
Did you bring one?
No.
And was that a fart? It sounded like one. Sorry.
Might have been. I don't know.
Somebody was like, I thought it was funny to say that. Anyways, did you bring a gun?
No.
No. Steph, did you bring a gun?
Nope.
I don't even own any fucking guns. MJ, did you bring a gun? Not that I'm opposed to it. Here's the thing. I'm fine with people owning guns. You know how many liberals I know that own guns? It's like, but it's not our whole fucking world, you stupid assholes.
Well, I gotta keep one on my hip. So when I walk in with a t-shirt that says Guns, God, and Trump, they know that I'm carrying a gun.
They know I be packing. It's part of the uniform, okay?
I probably haven't used in the last few months or weeks to Familiarization fire.
Same that I feel with a bar of soap. I haven't used that either. Don't need that.
Okay. I had to step away from it. I wanted to find this. This is what the leading expert on guns in the United States had to say about the shooting in San Jose.
Well, let's give it a whirl.
Oh, God. What leading expert?
San Diego by a guy who has been reported to the government officials numerous times that he rapes his wife, he rapes his ex-wife. He has stated numerous times to the people in his life, I want to kill people. I'm really upset down there at the VTA, Valley Transit Authority. I like to kill those people.
Is
And
he
so
drunk?
the people who heard these threats of violence call the people in charge, people with authority. How the hell they got authority, I'll never know. Maybe it's the same way that the Michigan DNR, the Illinois DNR, thinks they have authority over a free American, whether you put a mineral lick on your property. Maybe that's where they got the authority. Maybe
Any
they
guesses,
think that
anybody who
Nazis
this is?
forcing Jews on trains
Is it?
was actually authority.
It's not Alex Jones. I mean, he's not angry enough.
What's happened to you people?
Yes.
And right away the news
Yes.
goes, well, they probably
Rush Limbaugh's already dead. It's not him.
Kill that many people. No, he used two.
We were ragging on him a couple episodes ago.
The San Diego shooter used two
Right.
handguns. Well, where did he get them? I don't know. Ace Hardware.
He has a whistle in
Or the
his
same place
oh.
the Crips and the Bloods get them. Or maybe
And it's
like-
not Phil Hendry, because
No.
Phil Hendry is actually
All right.
one of the
Wayne
coolest-
LaPierre.
I'll give you a clue.
Is it Wayne LaPierre?
Like Matt Gates, he likes little girls.
They weren't AK-47s. They were SKS semi-automatics. They weren't collision.
Doesn't narrow it down a lot.
I know. I'm like going through the Republican Rolodex here. Motherfuck.
Should I be driving through
Not
the middle
Donald
of
Trump.
Texas right
Not
now
Donald
listening to
Trump.
this on the AM radio?
He likes little girls. Walks in on the Miss Teen USA.
Hold on.
Hey, Mr. Newscaster, he didn't use an AR-15. He had two handguns. And you know how he killed all those
Rudy
people?
Giuliani?
It was Freak Boy Biden's dream. It was David
Kinda
Chipman's
sounds like
dream
the
where
one.
these people died. Just like
Roger
every
Stone?
instance where the most innocent lives are lost. It's in David Chipman's dream.
Oh, Ted Nugent!
Oh, for fuck's sake.
It's the Nuge. He's auditioning folks to become the new Rush Limbaugh. He would like to transition into Rush Limbaugh.
Hold on.
After Parkland Black.
Got a transition for
After
him.
Sandy Hook, after the Dayton Club, after San Bernardino. Tell your mayor, your senator, and your congressman, and your governor every fucking day that the most innocent lives are always lost in gun-free zones. The guitar player can fix that. End gun-free zones. My fellow Americans, you want to save lives? Uncle Ted's got the answer.
Uncle Ted!
Get
Fuck
everybody
you,
in your
Uncle
life
Ted.
to make sure they don't
There
fucking
have been
drive.
mass shootings in Texas. That is a gun-loving fucking zone. What are you talking about?
Anyway, I think we talked over the part where he blamed. Now he said the San Diego shooting. This dipshit doesn't know it was San Jose.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Okay,
Yeah.
Which is
he
Central
he
California.
blamed Eric Holder
I thought he was talking about something else.
for whatever. And I don't know. I didn't see in the media where anyone blamed AR-15s. And
Okay,
The
well-
only point he had there was, okay, the guy was accused of rape or whatever. Why was he allowed to have the two handguns that he used in that? But if you take back that fact, if this person's guns were taken away, Uncle Ted would have been up in arms about that too.
Mm-hmm.
He just wants press. I'm telling you, he's trying to be the next Rush Limbaugh. Now that Rush is dead.
Well, yeah.
Who are they going to listen to?
Yeah, well, he's-
Alex Jones?
He's probably trying to take away, press from, when we hit him up on the podcast last time when we talked about his alleged trying to pick up on the younger
Teenage
chicks.
affairs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he told Peter to get the fuck off his truck or whatever. He said,
what?
You didn't listen to the podcast? You missed a really good Ted Nugent story.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Peter.
Yeah.
Ted Nugent told people
Peter
to
got
fuck
told
off.
in Globe, Arizona. It happened in Globe.
Yeah.
He was only talking to the young chicks that Peter were hanging out with, not the guy.
So supposedly Peter and these two girls were hanging out walking down the street, and some guy that looked familiar pulled up in a truck.
Offered him a ride.
Pete said, sure. And Pete went to climb in the truck, and he was like...
I believe it was actually a CJ Jeep.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm a Jeep owner, so, Jeeps. Ding, ding, ding when you hear the word Jeep.
See, Aaron, what you miss when you don't listen to the podcast?
Yes.
I will send you the link to that.
I am like one of those people who's like an actor who never watches the shows that get casted in.
You know what, though? Here's what I have to say to you, Ted Nugent. When you can fucking prove to me that there are all these mass shootings who have been stopped by the good guys with guns, I will shut my fucking mouth. Until you do that, look, I have asked for years. You know what? I want to get on board. I want to get on board with your guys' idea. I want to get on board with this. That fuck yeah, we can stop the bad guys if we have more good guys with guns. When is it going to happen? When are you going to prove it? We're waiting.
That's true. And
she's got a point.
Again, bring this all back around to Memorial Day, and people have lost their lives for the freedoms of this country. What do you think that these people who sacrificed their lives for this country would think about representatives calling out shooting people in Silicon Valley? What do you think of them thinking about Uncle Ted going off and taking arms up against your fellow citizens? The military is supposed to protect all citizens, not a political party.
That's what the well-regulated militia thing is.
Well, yeah, we could get into that. The key word there, okay, if we're going down that rabbit hole, is regulated. Regulated means regulations. Okay? Mm-hmm. And I'm not calling for guns to be taken away, but what's wrong with universal background checks? What's wrong with closing the gun show loophole? Will it solve anything? Will it take away any shootings in Chicago? No. That's another thing. But while I'm on the Chicago thing, pass the goddamn infrastructure plan, and maybe you could get jobs in these communities and get people off the streets with well-paying jobs. Hey, there's a thing.
What?
Going back to the gun rights and guns, it's easier for me to buy a gun right now than to buy a car.
Oh, shit, yeah.
I can walk into a local gun store with $1,000 in my pocket going, I'm going to buy this. I don't even have to shoot it.
You don't need insurance for it.
They do a 10-minute background check. And they go, here we go. $1,000. Awesome. It would take me half a day to buy a car.
You're lucky.
Whether...
Right. So why not... Now, I have no idea this shooter in Santa Fe, when he purchases 2 handguns, was it before the rape allegations? Was it after? But if you have rape allegations, then why are you allowed to purchase a firearm? Okay.
Wouldn't you maybe be purchasing the firearm to go kill the people who are accusing you of rape? I mean, why wouldn't you want to keep firearms away from someone who's shown to be isn't rape violence? Isn't it considered violence? Yes. Or is it still not fucking considered? So it's why are we selling fucking firearms to someone who is a violent offender or at least accused of a violent
again, we don't know when he purchased his firearms, to be truthful.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm getting ahead of myself.
It's a delay in the process, and there's a process that needs to be get done, both between states, federally.
Local.
If I do something fucked up tonight. I want to go buy a gun tomorrow. How long is it going to take before somebody goes, you can't buy a gun?
Right, and the initial thing, and back in the day, New Hampshire, I had a concealed carry permit, but there was a waiting period.
Mm-hmm.
Just in case you did go in there with thoughts of, shooting someone or knocking yourself off.
Yeah.
That was the purpose of the waiting period, just a cool off time.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't to restrict your rights or whatever.
Yep.
I don't know. I mean, we've done this conversation too many fucking times, and nothing changes. Nothing fucking changes.
Right. I get so sick and tired of it. It sounds insensitive, but it's like I get sick and fucking tired of talking about this.
Yep.
But I have no other choice because guess where I live? America. I mean, like, you can't escape it. You can't be like, what? That's why I'm like, when I retire, I'm like, fuck, like, being an expat sounds kind of like I don't mind going to a place with less guns.
You know what?
I don't fucking mind it.
The one good thing about the past year in the pandemic, this bullshit wasn't happening.
Right? Yeah.
We weren't having mass shootings every few days.
Right. Because people
We didn't have mass
were
gatherings.
scared. Right. They were scared to go
I still
out.
hear the same, well, guns don't kill people. People kill
for fuck's
people.
sake.
But we had but yeah, I mean, Snow can attest to this.
To quote one of my favorite musicians, I love this quote whenever it's about the whole guns don't kill people, people kill people. It's from Ozzy Osbourne, and he says, well, then if we go to war, when we go to war, why don't we just send the guns and not the people? I mean, it's fucking so simple yet brilliant. It's like, yeah, it's basically like, you're a fucking liar.
Well, but what I was leading to, Snow, is I was leading to the March for Our Lives rally when the gun people, interrupted and tried to shout down. And a gun saved my sister's life.
No, it was his daughter, because he goes, and yeah, my ears like perked up like a jackrabbit's when he's sitting there going, he kept saying, a gun saved my daughter's life, and then the little girl would be like, a gun saved my life.
Ouch.
And so,
my ears.
I know, I'm sorry, very high pitched, right? I was trying to be a dad versus little girl. So then I go, whoa, wait a second, sir, excuse me, I have a question for you. And he goes, yeah. He looks at me like all dumbfounded. He's like, yeah, like all pissed off still from the whole argument, like just the tenseness of this rally. And I go, sir, if guns don't kill people and people kill people, then how does a gun save someone's life? And he goes,
Guns don't
what?
Guns don't save lives. People save lives.
He goes, what? And then he turns around and like clockwork, he goes, a gun saved my daughter's life.
Oh,
and then she's like, a gun saved my life. Like, they just went on and they're like, and then one of our friends was standing there and he's all like, I think you just blew his mind. Like,
You broke
knowledge
him.
overload. He doesn't even know what to do with that. So he's like, yeah, he's not gonna take it even seriously.
You broke him.
But Snow, but at the same time, at that rally, March for Our Lives rally, after Parkland, we did have people, because we wrote an article from Kingman Daniel Meyer, op-ed, and boy, did we cause a shitstorm in the comment section on Facebook on that one. A shitstorm. There's never been as many comments on an op-ed as there were on that one, and it got to the point where we had to shut it down because I was getting threatened.
Yeah, he had to turn off the comments. No more comments allowed.
But the best part about that was
the hands down best part.
We had someone come up to us and say, you convinced us
an
to register
older
to
couple.
vote.
They were well, I don't want to say old, or like they were in their 60s, and they came up to us and said, you convinced I think she was like, My husband has never, ever voted ever in his entire life, and he went and registered as a Democrat, and I go, oh my God, I can't even take it. I was like, oh my God. I started crying right then. I'm like, this is like the best news ever. I'm like, our article worked just because of that one couple that said that.
See, we're making a difference just like this podcast.
And in a place like Kingman.
Because I think a lot of people around here don't realize how many Democrats there are.
Right.
And I had to cover that.
Oh, yeah?
And I'm trying to speak as a journalist so much, but as somebody who was there and seeing some of the anger coming from
the 4 anti-protesters.
Against the 60 some odd
right.
protesters.
Yes.
And I was blown away by the turnout.
Mm-hmm.
And the speeches were great too.
Yeah,
Mark was there. Mark
Niski.
Niski.
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Yes.
People yelling and screaming, and I'm like, wait a second. They're the same people that would be today going, well, it's all the goddamn liberals and the Democrats, and they're all hostile. I'm like, wait a second. I almost literally got punched out by one of you motherfucking assholes today. So don't tell me about. And
yeah, that one guy you could see is the kid that I asked the question to.
Taken.
He had like neck bulging.
Favorite take.
That was the guy.
You took that photo?
Yes.
That was the guy. That was the guy that I said, if guns don't kill people and people kill people, how can a gun save a life? That was the same kid. I call him a kid because he was like in his 20s.
So to visually describe the photo Aaron's talking about is they were trying to shout down the speakers.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Talk over him.
So they're trying to yell over him. And so one of the
people on our side
trying to be like, hey,
calm this guy down.
Calm down. And this guy just got up in his face and shoved him. And
got so mad. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that picture. Yeah. Yeah, you showed me that one.
Yeah. It was, I'm like, what the hell's going on? Everyone on the
they're just kind
March
of
for Our Lives is
calm
cool.
down.
These people came out, they're so anti-gun, they're fired up, blah, blah, blah. They're pushing people around, yelling, and I saw that, and I'm like, man, if I didn't have the fucking camera rolling.
I know I jumped right down to try to step in between it.
It was nuts. It was absolutely insane. Everyone else was cool. Yeah. There were 5 or 6 assholes doing shit, and it's the same thing with some of the protests. And
I was part of the group that was planning that, and I was sort of like, maybe we shouldn't do this here. I think it's too dangerous. Something will happen. We're gonna have a protest, or this is back when also they were talking about on the other side, if you're a Democrat protesting that administration that was in charge at the time, well, I should just be able to run them over. And I was kind of thinking, well, should we really march from the locomotive park to City Hall? Because these people might think that they have free reign just to plow through us, which in a lot of states, government
passing laws
saying that way you can run over a protester. Although in Florida, but this is for the Second Amendment, they have the stand your ground law. So say if you're a protester and you see a car racing towards you, you have a right to defend yourself and then shoot the driver of the car that's trying to run you down.
So then my question to that is, what happens at the protesters that protest the abortion clinics? Can you stand your ground there and shoot them?
Run them over.
Are you allowed to do that? The ones that harass women
somebody's
going
lived
in
in
there?
Flagstaff and Eugene where they did do
the
that
ones who
with their
harass
signs.
the women who are going in there. Question,
Okay. All right. So we're going to take one more break. We're going to go check on the ribs, and then we will
Be right back.
Round 3, folks.
All right.
Ding, ding.
All right, we just
Back at
finished up the Bootsy's Hot as Funk ribs.
And it was hot as fucking funk.
And the
It was delicious.
and the corn on the cob made with the all-purpose rub.
delicious.
Oh, fuck yeah, it was.
It tasted like popcorn, but still the juiciness of
Well, the
the
burnt
corn of the
parts.
carb.
The burnt
Yeah, it
parts
was
tasted
so
like-
good.
like
Yeah. So this
popcorn.
episode
So
is sponsored by Bootsy's Delta Funk. And Pete, we don't want money. We want some of the pineapple
I
mustard
want
sauce.
the free pineapple mustard
Hey,
sauce,
Pete,
motherfucker.
If you're listening, Pete.
Peta. Peta.
Okay.
I need the mustard sauce.
And we need to get on the list to do that coffee rub thing he was talking about.
I know.
So we
Yeah.
can try some recipes with that.
Okay, so we want
And we-
two things.
and Pete, we will do the episode like this. We will do it where we do it in segments, and then we taste the food in between segments.
Right. And then we come on. Okay, so by the way, MJ made fantastic ribs today. Everyone
yes.
agree?
Yes.
They were
I
amazing.
agree. I wanted to say
I'm stuffed like a pig.
it's kind of spicy, Pete, but I knew you could make something spicier.
We know you're capable
You
of so
might
much
put
more.
a big warning on the bottle, just in case it's something.
Warning, this is hotter than you think it is. Like,
You would
Hot
think-
as Funk is like a cool name, but you're like,
Yeah.
oh,
I think that's a
okay,
pretty
it's like
good
funky
warning.
hot, but it's like, no, it is hotter than funk.
Actually,
I don't
it's
know,
kind of
it's a pretty
lingering.
good
I'm
warning.
like, holy shit! Yeah, I'm kind of tasting it now.
Mm-hmm.
And so, what are we drinking?
Oh, we're having Moscow Mules today, folks.
And
Okay.
it goes
I
in
have
with
water.
ribs.
Yeah, the
Natty Light.
ginger. The ginger.
Okay, so we're going to end this podcast because basically what we're saying is the people that sacrifice their lives for the military, and that's what Memorial Day is about, is they sacrifice their lives for each and every one of us, and it doesn't fall between party lines. And I think that most people that serve our military would want us all to be able to vote. And Snow, you heard what went on down in Texas this week with their in Congress, like in the middle of the night, Saturday night, they passed this bill that suppressed voting for voters. One of the things that they did was you couldn't do early voting before 1 p.m. in churches in Texas, which is where most black people vote.
Fucking Texas. Like, we should fuck with Texas. I know all their signs say don't fuck with Texas or don't mess with Texas. Texas, you need some messing. You need to be taught your manners, all right? Everyone has a seat at the table. Everyone gets the voice. Everyone gets to vote, all right? Do I have to say it any more complicated? No. It's real simple. If you're an American, you get to vote. I don't like everyone that gets to vote. I live in rural America. What do you think the majority votes for here, people? They vote for Trump. Am I trying to take away people's right to vote here, even though I don't like the way they vote? No,
Right. I mean, that's like
because they're allowed to.
oh, let's say California passes a law that says if you fly the American flag upside down and a fuck your feelings flag, that you lose your right to vote. I mean, come on. They're just afraid because the majority of Americans lean more progressive. Minorities lean more progressive. Urban areas lean more progressive.
Mm-hmm.
And why is it in this state that say California? California has 2 senators. Montana, which has
They have 2 senators.
2 senators.
All states have 2 senators.
Yeah,
Right.
state representative.
So they have as much say as the people in California.
I know
despite
they
the
always
difference.
make the comparison with Wyoming and California because they're like, well, if we're going by Wyoming's rules though and Wyoming's population, then California should be broken up into 4 states. Like that's what the argument has always been made. They need to break it up then into 4 other states, because that's actually why they broke up the Dakotas. Like, back in the day, they broke up the Dakotas. The Dakotas should have stayed one Dakota. Like, you don't even have enough fucking people up in that
It
area.
would be weird to have Dakota now.
Right?
That seems
Right?
weird.
Yeah. So, yeah, and they're not going to go back on it now. But, I mean, that's why there's the big press for D.C. statehood and Puerto Rico becoming a state.
Right, and why is it like the people in Washington, D.C., I'm not talking about the small area where the Capitol is and all the government buildings are, the citizens of Washington, D.C. who pay taxes just like everybody else, why shouldn't they have representatives?
Right. Taxation without representation is supposed to go against what the, like, that's what our nation was founded. Like, isn't that why everyone dumped the tea into the fucking
Boston Harbor?
Yeah, I was like, was it called the Boston Harbor?
Boston
Okay.
Tea Party.
Boston Tea
But
Party.
it's like, wasn't that like why they were mad and dumped the tea in there?
Right.
Like,
Well, Snow, when we go to Boston next March for Dropkick Murphys,
but it's like,
I'm gonna take you down to the spot where that happened.
right. But I mean, I'm just saying the point. Like, they were like, fuck this. We're angry because no taxation without representation. So that's what's literally going on right now in DC. So what?
There's kind of people that do. I get it. It's history, but I gotta wear a mask. That's tyranny.
Well, you saw it because I saw you comment on it because Pete. And I don't want to name the business because I don't want to give them anything. But there was a hat store in Nashville where the owner was wearing a gold star saying, "I'm not vaccinated."
Yes, I saw that.
Comparing that to the
Fucking
Holocaust.
Yeah.
Oh, because of Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Right. But
Comparison.
the cool thing was Stetson, and there was an outfit out of New York that sold hats. They said, well, we're no longer selling you our hats to sell in your store.
Good. Like, seriously, I hate that it has to come to that, but you really have to hit things in the pocketbook. That is the only way to make people understand.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if they finally start losing their livelihood, then they start waking the fuck up. That's also the main reason why there's still so much crime. If you would just give people good jobs, they would have something to live for, something to look forward to, and they wouldn't be out committing fucking shady shit, motherfuckers.
Well,
So why don't you allow for the unions to come in, allow for negotiations, and let's allow for the United States to thrive and be a place for all of us.
Well, that was the point earlier I was making about Chicago and the shootings is pass the goddamn infrastructure bill.
Right.
Maybe we can hire people with good paying jobs and get them out of this cycle of poverty. Oh,
They
that's
won't
a
need to
fucking
commit
socialist
crimes.
idea.
They won't need to commit crimes because they will have too much to lose.
Look at us solving all the world's problems on a reality basis.
God, it's really common fucking sense.
God, then
though.
who are you
That's
going
the
to
thing.
oppress? Man, who are we
Who
going
are we
to
going to
oppress now?
blame for stuff that
Jesus.
goes wrong all the time?
No. Here it is.
Somebody think of the white
now,
man.
swear to God, what's going to happen in 2022? Mark my words. Due to the filibuster, nothing will get done in the Senate. Nothing will get passed. Due to the filibuster.
Thanks, Mansion and Cinema.
Okay, and
Right.
what will the Republicans run on? Well, what has Biden passed in the last 2 years?
Right. They're going to be like the do-nothing Democrats.
And,
they already say that. They're like the do-nothing Democrats.
Take your guns away.
And since we're calling out our representatives to appear on the show, Paul Gosar, you have an open invite. Kirsten Cinema, you have an open invite to come on.
I would like
our
you to
podcast.
come on and explain why you have been pushing to not pass the filibuster, yet you decided to not show up for the vote for the investigation into the January 6th. Why didn't you show up, girl?
Yeah.
Why didn't you show up? Excuse me,
Oh,
there's a
wait.
robot in
We
here.
have a droid trying to break in.
Okay.
These aren't the droids you're looking for.
God.
You're right.
They make me gotta get up and turn off my phone and my feet are fried.
What about
Folks, I got burnt feet today.
So I guess, well, yeah, you were out
I was
kayaking.
kayaking and my feet
Yeah.
are burnt. It's so hard to walk.
And that's why the podcast is running so late tonight.
Right? It's because of Snow's fiery feet.
You've never heard of sunscreen? Or is it just I know.
I didn't put
used
it
to
on my
kayak a
feet.
lot.
But like, because I'm always like, I'm one of those people where I'm like, oh my God, it takes forever to get my feet to get a tan. That was not the case today. The brutal
It's
Arizona
hot. It's
sun
Arizona.
and then
In
the
late May.
reflection, well, I think it was the reflection off the water,
Yes.
like just made everything, and the angle at which my feet were sitting, it was just a multitude of things.
Okay, so I guess we'll end this with, we're all American, and that's why people sacrifice their lives so we could be American, so we would have the freedom of choice, freedom to vote for who we want to practice the religions we want to. No, it's not Christian Nation. Come on.
Everyone gets a seat at the table.
Right, we all have the right to
Let me
vote.
repeat that. Everyone gets a seat at the table.
And this
is America. Everyone gets a fucking seat at the table. If
And-
you don't like it, then you're the fucking problem.
And this is what people fought and died for. They fought and died for Colin Kaepernick's right to take a knee. Freedom of speech, freedom of expression.
Right. I want my table in which everyone has a seat at to look like a fucking Benetton ad. I want it to look, I don't want it to be completely white, okay? That's not what I want because that's not what America represents.
And speaking of that, why have a bunch of white people making all these abortion laws in these states when it was already decided in the Supreme Court that abortion was covered under the Constitution? Why? Why? The people that are the most ones like, you gotta defend the Constitution. Constitution it's black and white. It's live or die. But you're trying to overturn what has already been decided in the Supreme Court.
Because they pick out the parts of government in which they like. The parts of the Constitution, which I'm getting real sick and tired of listening to these people be like, I hate the federal government, or I hate the government, or we need to get rid of the government, or blah, 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 blah. I'm sorry. I will say it again in case you missed this in fucking history class or whatever, like social studies class, whatever they called it in your school. We have a government of the people, by the people, for the people. So when people sit there and say that stupid shit, talking shit about the government, I'm like, you're talking shit about yourself too. Participate then, motherfucker. It's the same thing in which they do when they go off about the union where I work. I'm like, you know what? You don't like the union? You have all these complaints? Why don't you show up to a fucking meeting? Because it's always the idiots who don't fucking do a goddamn thing, who are always complaining. Show the fuck up then.
Or how about the people that they fly their Trump flags, claim the election was stolen, but did not vote in the last election?
I know, right? They're dumbest fucking people on the planet. That's all I have to say.
Kind of lost track, but I kind of got both of you. Yeah, if you're going to complain about the government and you're going to complain about shit, do something about it. Provide a realistic solution. Run for office, which
Exactly.
I might do one of these days.
Right.
I really
Exactly.
don't want
Where
to.
are the
Okay.
solutions?
Okay.
If you're going to complain, come up with some solutions.
Let's bring it down local to one of our city council people, or former city council people.
Aaron for city council.
Yeah. No.
Not yet.
No, but she was against the tax increase to repair roads. the sales tax increase that got repealed in the election.
Oh,
She
I
was
know
against
who
that.
you're talking. Karen, insurance sales lady.
But she did
Yes.
not offer any
That's Karen.
solutions for where the funding for the roads would come from then.
But it's the free market.
Because all she can ever complain about is Bill Gates
Now-
trying to microchip us through the vaccination.
Now, what we have to do, what we have to do according to the budget, okay, because that's how cities run. You have to run on a budget. They're doing patchwork repairs, temporary repairs, just to maintain the roads within the budget.
Yep.
But now, the same exact people that were complaining about the sales tax increase are on social media complaining about the state of the roads. And I was making the argument like, I was there. I was the one that told you that this was going to happen.
More roads.
And I knew you were going to complain about it. And I got pushed back on that one. That
Of
was-
course.
No, I saw that. I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Well, it's like
Do you
Bill
run
Murray
for city
says.
council? Do you want to do that?
You cannot argue with a
I'll
stupid
do it.
person.
I would never.
I'll do it if you do it.
I would never get elected. They would just listen to this podcast and be like, "You socialist libtard."
You never know. You never know.
Well, they'd have to find us first.
Oh yeah.
Do you
MJ
think they could find us? I don't think so.
I think you should do it. I'll do it. It might take me another 2 years, 4 tops. I got a lot of shit to
Do
get
it.
together.
I was asked to run for something. I don't remember what.
Nice.
I
Board
was
of
asked.
Supervisors?
No. I would
Don't
have
do that.
to- I would.
Oh my gosh, you could take on Karen Lingenfelter.
Well, we had a reality show star as a president for 4 years, so I don't
Anything's
see
possible.
no reason why.
Yeah, we got
you
Matthew
can't pull this
McConaughey.
off.
Matthew McConaughey's going to run for, well, potentially run for governor.
Caitlyn Jenner is
Caitlyn
running.
Jenner's
California.
running for California.
Okay, folks. There's a market out there for stuff.
Boy,
you just gotta have a gimmick
Could you
and a
ima-
great slogan.
Could you imagine if she wins the primary and she's the main Republican candidate for governor? It
wouldn't surprise me. Honestly.
you know how hard that decision would have to be. You know, do you want a transgender person running for governor?
Versus another Democrats that you people always complain about.
Oh man, the Republicans'
Okay.
heads would explode.
Well, first off,
You're not gonna know what bathroom to go into in the.
First off,
government
like
mansion.
I do see her possibly maybe winning the Republican ticket just because.
People are stupid.
Well, maybe if the Democrats,
popularity.
if the Democrats were smart in the state of California, I'm talking to you guys, if any of you are listening, go down, switch your political party so you could vote in the primaries, vote for Caitlyn Jenner to get her to be the main candidate then, and then you can beat her ass because there's no way that she'll beat the Democrat.
And then
Candidate.
the Democrats run the rock against
Right.
her.
And hello,
Run the raw. Oh God.
can't stop the
Oh,
rock.
wow. I want to move to California. So I can
I'm
vote
gonna
for
vote
Rock.
for the Rock just based off of those arms.
I know.
Okay.
I mean, we could get property needles really cheap. That way we could.
Oh my God, yeah.
In California.
Needless.
Yeah, because I also
And
like to call
halfway
it crack
Kalamazoo
needles.
City,
Oh.
maybe.
Yeah,
See, I always put another S at the end of it.
yeah, that's
So
a good
it's-
one
so it's
too.
needless.
Needless.
I mean, think about it. Like the manly men who are flying the American flag. What are you gonna? Who are you gonna vote for? Are you gonna vote for the Fast and Furious
Ghostbusters.
Rock, or are you gonna vote for Caitlyn Jenner?
And everybody just short circuit like.
Their heads will explode.
Now, when you said like the manly man, I have that song in my head from that one South Park episode. Now you're a
Nope.
man.
That's Orgasmo.
Man.
That's the movie.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. I was like, I knew it was the South Park guy. So
I
was
sing
like,
that to myself in
now
the
you're
shower
a
sometimes.
man.
Go tell my
man,
girlfriend.
man.
Okay. I guess the point is.
I hear you.
The point is, this whole
We're getting
podcast
stupid.
is we're all Americans. Let's just start acting like it. Let's not fucking
I
try.
know.
Let's not say that we're going to shoot each other. That's not what
Let's
the
not
people-
shoot each other either.
That's-
How about we
that's-
don't?
Actually.
How about we
That's-
take like a
Stop
day
shooting
off
things.
from that?
That's not what the people who died for this country
Meant.
would want.
They had to go reload muskets, motherfuckers. Do you know how long
Yeah.
that takes? They weren't like by the time they fucking got that bitch loaded, they were like, I forget why I was mad.
All right. Well, now that we've solved all the problems in this world tonight on this podcast with barbecue and
For
everything
5
else,
minutes.
I think next week hopefully we take on the extraterrestrial realm.
The extra testicles? Okay, let's do it.
Yeah. Just think outside the box here. All right, so this is episode 49. We're coming up on our 1-year anniversary, and so thank you all for listening. Follow us on social
This
media.
was our 49er episode?
This is the 49th
Oh, shout out to the San Francisco 40. That's my team, y'all.
episode. We should save the extraterrestrial episode for episode 51.
Oh my god, we'll have to do a
That would be-
midweek
that would
episode
be
just
funny,
so
yeah.
we can get all the way to 51. We
Episode
have to.
51.
Yeah.
Are we
Okay,
gonna
but
drive out there to do it?
all right. Well,
Oh, God.
thank you to all those served and sacrificed everything to let us have this barbecue tonight. Thank you to Bootsy's Delta Funk, and thank you all
Thanks,
for listening.
Peter.
And we will talk to you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.